So first, in chapter 1, food safety and sanitation management. So what is food safety? It refers to handling, preparing, and storing food in a ways to prevent foodborne illness, disease, food spoilage, and contamination. As you will know how important the food safety and sanitation in every food industry. Food industry is made up of business that produce, manufacture, transport, and distributes food for people globally, no? Because there are many opportunities for food to be contaminated between production and consumption. Food can be contaminated at the farm, ranch, and orchard, or in the sea. Also can be contaminated during the last stages of production at retail establishments and by consumers in their homes, no? So even when purchased from inspected and approved sources, ingredients may be contaminated when they arrive at the food establishment, no? So it is important to know how to handle these ingredients safely and how to prepare food in such a manner that reduces the risk of contaminated food being served to your clients, no? Food is perishable, requiring it to be handled properly before, during, and after preparation, no? So alam niyo na po kung gaano kahalaga ang food safety, no? So there are food establishments, no, na and facilities that are involved in food distribution, no? Example, schools, military bases, universities, elder care, caterers, delicatessens, convenience stores, employee feeding, lodging, supermarkets, nursing homes, quick service, full service, transportation, bars, prison jails, stadium concessions, and child care. So, anong ibig sabihin ng foodborne disease outbreak? No? It occurs when 2 or more people become ill after eating a common food. Masasabi na siyang disease outbreak kapag 2 or more than people na yung affected or infected na parehong food yung kinain nila. So, ano naman yung foodborne illness? No? Is the sickness that some people experience when they eat contaminated food, no? So caused by consuming contaminated foods or beverages. Yun po yung foodborne illness. Nakakain or nakainom sila ng contaminated, hindi safe, marumi po yung na-intake nila, so nagkakasakit sila, so yun yung tinatawag na illness, no? So it impairs performance and causes of discomfort. It causes to hospitalization or death. What else? So yung changing trends in food consumption and choices, like now, no? Yung mga tao mahilig sa mga ethnic foods or mga exotic foods, no? Especially yung time natin ngayon, no? We are experiencing yung the cause of COVID-19 kasi yung mga tao, no, kumakain sila ng mga animals na hindi dapat i-consume, no? So kaya nagkaroon, 'di ba, yung virus natin ngayon, no? So yun yung cause ng nagko-cause siya ng foodborne illness. And then, yung dahil sa panahon ngayon, mga busy yung tao, yung iba bumibili na lang ng pagkain sa labas, hindi sila nagluluto sa bahay. So, 'di ba? Yung possible ng foodborne illness kasi hindi mo alam kung malinis yung pagkakaluto, pagkakagawa ng pagkain na ini-intake mo, no? So, there are leading factors that contribute to foodborne illness, no? Sa chapter 4, nabanggit na po din ito. So, first, temperature abuse, poor personal hygiene practices, cross-contamination. So, ito talaga yung mga nag-factor, no, na nagko-contribute sa pagkakaroon ng foodborne illness, no? Ano ibig sabihin ng temperature abuse, no? Not cook to the recommended internal temperature. Minadali ang pagkaluto, no? Because foods need time, no, na maluto. So, hindi nila niluto ng maayos. Okay? Hindi, di ba dapat maluto siya yung 60 degrees Celsius, no? Para mamatay yung mga bacteria or microorganisms na present dun sa food. Okay? And then, yung mga susceptible or highly susceptible populations. Okay? Sa chapter 4, meron din yan, yung the very young, the elderly, pregnant or lactating women, people with impaired system due to cancer, AIDS, diabetes, and the like. Katulad ng yung anti-vaxxia, yung mga bata na namatay, kasi meron na silang kumbaga sakit, no, na nag-trigger lang dahil sa anti-vaxxia. So, kapag merong medyo malala ng sakit, and then may vaccine, nag-trigger siya. So, di ba, yung ilan na yung namatay. Pero kung healthy naman yung bata, so, yun, wala namang okay naman. Katulad din ngayon, di ba? Kaya yung quarantine time natin, no, yung mga bata and yung mga may edad na, silang hindi pwedeng lumabas. Kasi nga, madali silang, kumbaga, sila yung susceptible, no, madali silang kapitan, hindi pa malakas yung pangangatawan nila. Okay? And then, yung, of course, yung poor personal hygiene, no, yung ngayon lang, yung iba paghuhugas pa lang ng kamay, yun, di ba, yun yung importante, yung pag apply ng alcohol, di ba, yun yung way talaga na ma-avoid, no, na magkaroon ng foodborne illness, or yun ngayon yung para hindi ka mahawaan ng virus, yung makapasok yung virus sa katawan mo. And then yung cross-contamination, no? So, ano nga ba yung contamination? It's the presence of substance or conditions in the food that can be harmful to humans. Food can become contaminated at several points between the farm and the table. Yung contamination na galing pa lang sa farm, we do not know na contaminated na yung food, diba? Yung supply, and then cross-contamination. This happens when microbes from a raw food are transferred to a cooked or ready-to-eat food by contaminated hands, equipment, or utensils. Diba? Yung importante talaga yung ma-avoid yung cross-contamination. Kasi, factor din yun talaga na nagkakaroon ng foodborne illness. Nagbigay na tayo ng halimbawa, and I think sa chapter 4, no? And na-discuss na rin yung cross-contamination, no? For example lang, kahit sa bahay lang, no? Yung chopping board, no? Especially talaga yung chicken, no? Kasi meron talagang salmonella yan, no? Kapag ginamit na yung chopping board, no? Kailangan after magamit, no? Kasi na-chop, doon mo chinap yung chicken, yung raw chicken. Kailangan mo siyang hugasan ng mabuti, no? Bago ulit gamitin, no? Kung gagamitin ulit sa paghiwa ng mga gulay, no? Kailangan sabunin siyang maigi to avoid cross-contamination. And kapag humawak ka ng raw foods, kailangan mo munang maghugas ng kamay bago ka humawak, no, sa ibang gamit, kasi nga matatransfer yung bacteria. Okay, and then ano ibig sabihin ng FBI, no? Yun yung foodborne illness. Okay, and then the food flow, no? Food flow consists of food products and the ingredient used to make them as they flow through a food establishment. So, sa chapter 4, no, na-discuss din yan, no, yung purchasing, receiving, no. So, first muna yung purchase of raw materials and delivery, receiving, storage, preparing, no, yung sa preparing, how to thawing, cooking, cooling, reheating, hot holding, and cold holding, and then lastly, the service. Okay, and then HACCP, no? HACCP means Hazard Analysis Critical Control Point, no? Sa food industry, ang HACCP talaga ay napaka-importante, no? But in chapter 5, no, i-discuss siya in detail, no? So pwede na, hindi ko na siya masyadong i-discuss, no? But I will ano ibig sabihin ng HACCP, no? So follows of food through the food establishment and identifies each step in the process where contamination might cause the food to become unsafe, no? When a problem step is identified, action is taken to make the product safe, or if that is not feasible, the food is discarded, no? Individual food facilities can control the flow of food by setting up an in-house HACCP program. Again, HACCP system means Hazard Analysis Critical Control Point, no? And then yung cleaning, yung ano ibig sabihin ng cleaning, no? Is concerned with the removal of visible soil from the surfaces of equipment and utensils. Pag sinabi lang cleaning, inis mo lang siya, nakita mo lang na madumi, yun na yun. Pero hindi mo pa alam na masasabi mo lang siyang malinis, no? Pero hindi pa siya safe. Pero pag sinabi ng sanitary o nakasanitize, no, means healthful or hygienic. It involves reducing the number of disease-causing microorganisms on the surface of equipment and utensils to acceptable public health. No? Okay, what else? So, may mga ginagawa, no, yung mga accident prevention and crisis management in every food industry. Okay, yung education and training are key to food safety. And then the role of the food industry in the food safety. Okay, so that yan yung sa chapter 1 or sa lesson 1. So next, in chapter 2, it's all about hazards to food safety. So there are 8 general symptoms of foodborne illness, no? Like headache, nausea or nausea, vomiting, dehydration, abdominal pain, diarrhea, fatigue, and fever. Usually, 'di ba, kahit sa bahay, kapag may nakakain ka lang na hindi na safe, 'di ba? Usually diarrhea talaga, no? Kapag alam mong gumamit ka na ng CR for kumbaga nakapagbawas ka na ng 2 to 3 times, ibig sabihin may nakain ka ng hindi kumbaga sira na, no? Yun yung talagang cause o yung pinaka nararanasan ng mga tao, no? And then classification of foodborne illness, no? There are 3 classification. What are those? So first, infection, second, intoxication, third, toxin mediated infection. Okay, so what is infection? No, caused by eating food that contains living disease causing microorganism. Nagkakaroon ng infection, no? Ano pa? Yun nga. And then intoxication, caused by eating foods that contains harmful chemical or toxin, produced chemical waste or toxin, no? Yung if the food containing the toxin is eaten, the toxin contains or causes an illness. And then the third one is toxin mediated infection, no? Caused by eating food that contains harmful microorganisms that will produce its toxin inside or once inside the human body, no? So it depends factor, no, such as age, health status, body weight, and the amount of contaminant ingested with the food, no? Bago before yung number ng hours, no? Depende sa age, no? Yung lumalabas or lalabas yung symptom, no? Kapag yun nga, kapag yung bata, kapag matanda, or kapag may sakit ka na, sila yung agad-agad sila yung affected, no? Agad-agad nagkakaroon ng epekto sa kanila, no? And then what are the 3 foodborne hazard, no? So yung foodborne hazard refers to biological, chemical, and physical. Yung tatlong yun yung foodborne hazard. Yung biological include bacteria, virus, parasites, and fungi, no? Biological. Yung chemical naman, toxic substances that may occur naturally or may be added during the processing of food. And then yung physical, no? Yung makikita natin in naked eye, no? Yun yung hard or soft foreign objects that can cause illness and injury, no? In other chapter, no, na-discuss yung physical hazards. Yung example ng physical hazards, no? Yung they include items such as fragments of glass, metal, unfrilled toothpicks, jewelry, adhesive bandages, and human hair. Pinaka-common, no, na makikita yung physical hazard sa food ay yung hair, no? Yung habang kumakain ka, may nakikita, no, yung hair, no? Minsan yung staple wire, yung toothpick, no? Yung dating mga cakes, may makikita kang toothpick, no? So hindi yun safe. Yun yung physical hazard. Okay, biological, no? Yun yung mga bacteria, virus, parasites, fungi. Ang chemical, from the word chemical, toxic substances. Okay? So, yun yung 3 foodborne hazards. Okay? So, yung bacteria, no? Yun yung most important biological foodborne hazards for any establishment, no? Bacteria. And then what else? So there are 2 classifications of bacteria, diba? Yung spallage and pathogenic bacteria. Yung spallage, no? Ito yung food so degrade or break down food so that they look, taste, and smell bad. They reduce the quality of food to be unacceptable levels, no? Kumbaga, pag nakita mong sira na siya, ito-throw mo na. So, yun yung spoilage. Nakikita mo sa mata mo na sira na. So, pwede mo na siyang itapon. Yung pathogenic bacteria, yun yung disease causing microorganisms that can make people ill if they or their toxins are consumed with food. So, delikado yung pathogenic bacteria. Okay? And then, no? So, yung 6 conditions, no? Yung 6 conditions bacteria to need multiply. No? Yun yung fathom. Okay? Yung food, acid, temperature, time, oxygen, and moisture, no? Ito yung condition na nagmumultiply yung mga bacteria, no? Food is the important requirement for bacteria to grow or best growth of pathogenic bacteria. Okay? So, yung fathom. And then, for phases of bacterial growth, so, study na lang yung log phase, stationary phase, and decline phase. And then, the 6 conditions of bacteria: source of food, acidity, temperature, time, oxygen, moisture, no? Yung 6. Okay? Iba pa yung fathom, and ito yung fathom kasi, no? Need to multiply. Pero ito kasi 6 conditions of bacteria. Okay? And then, ano ba yung temperature danger zone? No? Most disease-causing bacteria can grow within temperature 41 Fahrenheit or 5 degrees Celsius to 57. Between 5 degrees hanggang 57. Okay? Between. Kasi nga pag umabot na siya ng 60 degrees, safe na yun. Kasi yung mga bacteria doon or microorganisms na present sa food is namamatay na. No? So, yun yung tinatawag na temperature danger zone, hindi naluto ng maayos, no? Kasi yung 5 degrees Celsius, yun yung malamig, no? Dapat naka-store siya sa 5 degrees. Yung mga cold foods na potentially hazardous foods, dapat nasa 5 degrees Celsius. Yung kailangang iluto ng maayos para mamatay yung food, dapat umabot siya ng 60 degrees. Between 5 hanggang 60, yun yung danger zone siya, no? So, yung water activity, no? Yung is a measure of the amount of water that is not bound to the food and is therefore available for bacterial growth. Kasi nga, 'di ba, yung ma-moist, yung mga gusto-gusto ng microorganisms or bacteria. So, yung parang symbol dito ng water activity is A, and then yung maliit na W. Ano bang ano ng W? Sub, yung maliit. Hindi siya subscript eh. Ayun, no? And then, what is PHF? No? Yun yung potentially hazardous foods. Mga potential na hindi mahaba ang buhay ng pagkain. So, yun tinatawag na hazardous food. Madaling masira. No? And then, okay. Ano naman yung ready to eat foods? Now, foods are items that are edible without washing, cooking, or additional preparation by the consumer or by the food establishment. These foods can become contaminated if not handled properly. No? So, example dyan, yung mga salad items, hot dogs, hard-boiled eggs. Okay? So, okay, end ng chapter 2. In chapter 2.1 or lesson 2.1, yung hazards to food safety pa rin, yung mga pathogenic bacteria, no? Taki study po, and konti lang yung kinuha ko dito, more on parang masyado common lang, no? Okay, and ayun, so yung mga pathogenic bacteria, no, yung like Bacillus cereus, Clostridium perfringens, Clostridium botulinum, Campylobacter jejuni, no, Salmonella, Staphylococcus aureus, and Vibrio. And then yung mga virus, hepatitis A, no? And then rotavirus kasi is a leading cause of severe diarrhea among infants and children. And then yung common din yung anisakis, no, yung worm na makikita sa mga fish, no? Okay. What else? Yung naturally occurring chemicals, no? Katulad ng allergens, ciguatoxin, mycotoxin, scombrotoxin, shellfish toxin. No, yung food allergens cause a person's immune system to overreact. Like yung shrimp, ganun, diba? Yung ibang mga tao, allergy sila. What else? Yung peanut, no? Marami ding tao na allergic sila sa peanut. Yung shellfish toxins, no, kapag red tide, pinagbabawal magbenta ng mga shellfish kasi delikado yon, may toxin yon. Okay? And then, nakakatakot yung mga, yung parasites, yung mycotoxins, okay? Yung katina pala na nabanggit ko, yung foodborne illness caused by physical hazards, no? And then, yung man-made chemicals, no? Include substances that are added intentionally or accidentally to a food during processing, no? Yung man-made chemicals. Okay, in chapter 3, factors that affect foodborne illness. Oh, sorry, chapter 3 pala yung leading factors that cause foodborne illness, like yung time and temperature abuse, no? Binigay ko rin to sa quiz natin. Okay? Yung highly susceptible, no? Okay. Yung what are time and temperature abuse? No, yung time kasi important yan, no, sa mga kahit sa bahay or yun nga, especially in food industry, no. Hindi pwedeng naka-expose or matagal na nasa room temperature lang yung food. So dapat pag cold, nasa cold siya, yung 5 degrees Celsius or below, no. And kapag hot, no, dapat naluto siya ng maayos, no. And then depende yun, no, yung time. Kapag malamig na siya in 2 hours, okay, in room temperature, no, safe pa yun. And then kapag 4 hours and above, no, i-discard na yun kasi may mga bacteria na dun, okay. And minsan sa bahay kapag ganyan, no, pwede mo siyang iinit ng maayos, okay, para mamatay yung mga bacteria na presence dun sa food. Okay, and then yung paggamit ng thermometer, no. So ano yung thermometer? Okay, and then yun yung ginagamit na yung kung yung food ba ay safe, no. Thermometer means a device used for checking the doneness of meat or other foods to ensure that the appropriate and safe internal temperature has been achieved, no. Yung nag-report yung group 1, pinakita natin yung example ng thermometer, food thermometer, hindi po body thermometer po. Okay, and then what else? Yung how to calibrate thermometer. Okay. Following safe temperature guidelines, no? Receiving and then storing frozen foods. Yun nga, food should be maintained solidly frozen at all times. Kapag tinanggap and mag-store na kailangan yung frozen food, dapat naka-maintain talaga na solidly frozen at all times, no? Kahit yung pag-receive mo, no, dapat frozen pa rin. And then yung receiving and storing refrigerated foods should be at or below 5 degrees Celsius. Yung ref dito sa bahay, I think parang pag 5 degrees, oo, tama, kasi actually agad-agad siyang talagang nagyayelo yung sa freezer, no. So yun. And then cooking foods, Okay, and then cooling, reheating foods, hot holding foods, cold holding foods, thawing foods, food preparation. Okay, and then yung hand washing guidelines, 'di ba? No, yung wash hands, proper hygiene, okay? And preventive measures to eliminate the possibility of cross-contamination, no? And other sources of contamination. Sa quiz natin, meron akong tinanggap na sagot, parang I consider na yun, na I think it's dust or water, no? Kasi parang sources din siya ng contamination yung water, diba? Kapag marumi yung water, no, nagkakos siya ng contamination. And then last, yung lesson 4, no, yung food product flow, no, yung purchasing, okay, is a highly skilled activity requiring knowledge of products and market conditions, no, back of the house operation siya, no, gumagawa talaga ng nagpo-purchase, no, yung nag-receive din is dapat alam talaga nila yung ginagawa nila, no, kumbaga purchasing work is highly specialized, no, and also procurement are better to use in than purchasing, kasi yung procurement is an orderly systematic exchange between a seller and a buyer, no. It is the process of obtaining goods and services, including all the activities associated with determining the types of products needed, making purchases, receiving and storing shipments, and administering purchase contracts, no? So yung company must employ qualified and competent people to preside over the purchase of these goods and services. And then ano yung wholesome food, no? Food that is favorable to or promotes health, no? What is sensory evaluation? A commonly used method for making routine quality determinations on foods received at retail food establishments. Also involves using the senses of smell, touch, sight, and taste. No, important yung sensory evaluation, no? Kapag alam mong nakikita mo na hindi na pwede, no? And then yung smell, no? So ginagamit din talaga ang sensory evaluation sa pagre-receive or pagdi-determine ng food quality. And then okay, yung mga package, yung following the food flow, the flow of food, no, yung receiving, refrigerator storage, dry storage, yung frozen storage, yung thawing, then preparation, then etc. Okay. Sa receiving, no, it's very important how to receive the foods or the product, no. Employees must inspect all incoming food supplies to ensure that they are in sound condition, free from filth or spoilage, and at the proper temperatures, no. I posted the video already, no. Makikita doon yung how to receive proper receiving of the food, no? And then yung packaged foods, yung pagpapack, may iba't ibang process, no? Iba't ibang klase. And then yung heat processing is a common method of preserving foods, no? Yung example dito ng packaging is yung hermetic, modified atmosphere packaging MAP, yung sous vide, no? Nag-send din ako ng video or nag-post din ako ng video. Food irradiation, no? And then yung mga red meat products, no? Ano ba yung mga red meat products? Literal red, pula, no? Yung pork, beef, no? Cattle or beef, hogs, ham, pork, and bacon, carabao, no? Sino kumakain ng carabao beef? Goat's meat, sheep or mutton, calves or veal and young sheep. Yan yung mga red meat products. Okay, game animals, no? Poultry, eggs, yung yung pasteurization, no? Fish, vegetables and fruits, juice and cider products, frozen foods. And then yung proper storage of food, no? Yung stock rotation, no? Yung a very important part of effective food storage, yung first in, first out, or FIFO, no? And then types of storage, common yan, talaga hindi pwedeng wala yan sa isang restaurant or food industry, no? Yung refrigerator, freezer, dry storage, no? And then yung storage conditions for food, no? Yung frozen meats dapat nakarap talaga yan, no? Para kumbaga yung longevity, no? Yung poultry, milk and egg, no? How to store, no? In refrigerator. Okay, yung proper thawing, hand washing, avoiding temperature abuse. And then yung cold holding, no? Yung cold holding, hot holding, no? And then yung mga leftover should be reheated once lang, and then kapag uneaten portion, kailangan mo nang i-discard. Okay, yung cold holding, no, is holding potentially hazardous foods that are be consumed cold at 41 Fahrenheit or 5 degrees Celsius or below. And hot holding is holding potentially hazardous foods above 140 Fahrenheit or 60 degrees Celsius, no? Kahit during transportation and delivery to any site away from the primary preparation and service areas, no? And then cooking, cooling, no? Okay, so I think that is the end of chapter 4, no? So class, again, please study your lesson chapter 1 to 4. And yun lang naman, summary lang siya na medyo yung mga important details talaga. Actually, lahat naman important, but summary lang naman siya kasi na-discuss na rin naman natin yan. Na-discuss na rin naman natin yan. Okay, natakal na rin naman natin yan. Okay, so So that's all for now. See you on December 15 in your midterm exam. So good luck din sa other exams nyo. Alam ko kaya nyo yan. So thank you and good luck. So